Lightning like Steve McQueen. I'm in the fast lane when the light turns green. And I built tough, I ain't nothing but grit. Cause I made rugged blood, sweat, and spit. Yeah, like a horse I fly. Better push yourself in for a bumpy ride. I like to play hard, but I work harder. And I weather the storm cause I'm built stronger.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. We are live. It is the Freight Coach Morning Show, the top morning show in transportation, coming to you live every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central, to break down 3 industry articles for you to provide some actual insight into this crazy industry that we have, and hell, the crazy world that we're living in right now. There's a lot of information that's out there, but frankly, what does this information mean and how does it affect your daily life, and what can you do with this information to apply it, utilize it, and see a meaningful difference in your business? And that's what we are all about here at the Freight Coach Morning Show, which is the flagship show underneath the Freight Coach Network umbrella, which we are building out the largest independent transportation news source that this world has ever fucking seen. Before we jump into anything else today, as I always got to give my shout out to my friends over at VHub. They're the ones who keep this neon light on here every single day for you guys, so I can keep coming back. Asset reallocation, access to trailers, everything that we need as a broker. This is what helps you separate yourself right now. You know, there's a lot in some of these articles we're going to be dropping down today. We'll make a little bit more sense about this there's a lot of opportunity that is out there, and you need to position yourself in a way to provide additional value to your customers and everything else. So with that being said, you guys, having access to trailers, being able to create a drop trailer pool is something that is needed. And you can do that right now on VHub. And you get paid to do it, you guys. Like, that's the best part. So like, if you're an owner op right now and your trailer's out of service, you can make additional revenue by using their app, vhubapp.com, to reposition or long-term, short-term rentals of some of their trailers that are on there. Right now, you guys get paid $18.50 to move them out of Paragould, Arkansas, going up into Delta, BC, which is just outside of Vancouver. They also have that out of Glade Spring, Virginia. Same thing, you get paid $18.50 to bring it up into Canada, Delta, British Columbia, you guys. And that's on top of the revenue you find for that freight. You know, I'm going to say that every single time. This is additional revenue for you on top of the revenue you make by loading out that trailer. And then for domestic U.S. shipment, what we have here is San Diego going over to Irving, Texas, and you get paid $600 to do that. And I know with all the freight that we have coming in, LA Basin, SoCal to Dallas is a hot lane. There is plenty of opportunity that's out there for you guys. Again, hit them up, vhubapp.com, and they can help you out with anything you need. My man Xavier Campos, he'll be here in the comments, as well as my friend Stacy Steen. She will be out there as well for you guys to answer any questions you guys may have. Drew Driscoll, good morning, brother. Good to see you out here. That's right, it's Wednesday, hump day. Let's get it. Sonny Sharma, orange shirt gang in the house. We are good to go, man. What are you doing up in Canada, Sonny? Are you on vacation? Is it the one time a year you can get up there to Canada and everything else? We are at day 73 of the Freight Coach Tally, you guys. Day 73 of there being a truck parking issue as well as a facilities issue in this industry. And, you know, at the end of the day, I understand it, but if we're going to not allow people to use a restroom, we have to have some other accommodations that are out there. And that's something that I will not stop talking about until there's actual change in the industry, until I stop receiving messages. Put it this way. As soon as I stop receiving messages from drivers that there's still facilities out there and they don't even allow them to like leave, drop their trailer and go, you know, like this is something that needs to change. If we want to talk about recruiting new drivers into this industry, if we want to talk about moving this industry forward, we have to do something about this. Let's see here what we got. The national average for diesel. I know some people are like trying to fucking celebrate that it's gone down, which, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's cool that it's dropped, but it's still at $5.43 a gallon. Like, it's still over $2 a gallon year over year price increase. You know, like this is, it's a little bit, but it's not what we need. We need to get our prices back down into where they should be, you know, where they were for the previous 4 years or so. You know, again, I get all of this information off of the EIA.gov's website. And then you can pull historical data on this. And again, like, data is key, you guys, and bringing this information out there to your customers to talk to them about fuel surcharges and everything else. This is another way for you to be able to explain it more or understand it more on what goes into pricing out shipments and everything else. Yeah, again, EIA.gov, check it out. and see what we can do here, you guys. All right, we got to get caught up in some comments here. Got to get Danny M. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Sonny's up there visiting family and working out of our office up here. Dang, looking to hire. All right, so Sonny, you're looking to hire in your Toronto office. What roles are you looking for? Drop it in the comments, man. Maybe some people up there in Canada who are watching my show. I love my fellow Canadians. They're going to, well, not fellow Canadians because I'm not a Canadian at all, but I like my friends from Canada. Vitaly Becker, he's out there dropping the maple leaf, ready to rock. Devonna, good morning. Long Way Transportation, good morning and happy Wednesday to you as well. Corey Morris, good morning. Jeremy Reed, good morning. Since I see Jeremy's name, any driver that's out there watching this, put your equipment type, your location, where you're looking to head in the comments. My broker friends who are out here watching this right now as well, if you have real freight to hook them up with that freight. All right, we that's what we're building here. You guys, at the end of the day, we are building a network of individuals, not only for news, but we are building a network of individuals who are here to do the right thing. All right. That's what we need. We need a collective network of the top transportation professionals working together to move this industry forward. All right. That's what we're here doing. That's another real meaning behind the Freight Coach Network, although it will be a news network that we're going to be building out here and turning it into the best fucking one that anybody's ever seen before. But yeah, we got some a lot of shit going on. It just seemingly never stops. Lorena, good morning. Good to see you in the audience. Are you back in America? Lorena and I are connected on Instagram, and she's been jet setting. She's been all over the world here recently, and I love seeing her getting out there. Let's see. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today, you guys, and it's crazy, and this is gonna tie into a lot of what we're going to be seeing here and kind of what I've been talking about here. Long Way Transportation has box trucks and cargo vans. Where are they all at? Do you like to focus in on an area specifically? And then, yeah, anybody connect out there anytime, Jeremy. Let's see. Stace. Yes, Stace. We got to leverage everyone's expertise. Love this. We got to prop the right people up in this industry, you guys. Like, frankly, you see this and I see this, and I'm going to go on a little fucking rant here. I see this all the time. When markets shift and everything else, a lot of the mudslinging starts to happen in either direction, but it's such a small percentage of the people who take advantage of the market. And unfortunately, the way that a lot of this stuff works, you guys, is bad news gets a lot of downloads. So that's why the narratives that's out there, but we're taking the fucking opposite approach. All right. The best of the best are going to be a part of the Freight Coach Network. All right. The top carriers, the top brokers, technology companies, factoring companies, insurance, all of that stuff. That's what we're building up here, because we have to collectively work together to move this industry forward. And yeah, it's just we gotta put our best foot forward. I know fucking kumbaya isn't going to happen, and we're all not going to sing along and hold hands or anything like that, but we can make our best effort out there. Long Way Transportation has box trucks and cargo vans available in Atlanta, Georgia. If anybody out there listening to this has that, Long Way Transportation LLC. She's watching on LinkedIn right now. Connect with her on that and try and help each other out. First article. So I know that recently I have been talking about how last week was the week that I thought a lot of transportation or a lot of shippers were going to shuffle up their network, their providers and everything else. And then, rebid season and everything that comes in it's happening now. I think if you haven't received an email from your customers on contracted RFPs going into a mini bid here, you're going to, especially with a lot of the information that's coming out. And again, I am a fan of capitalism. All right. I am a fan of making a lot of fucking money. Everybody making a lot of fucking money. But, and I've talked about this on past shows, when earnings reports come out, this is a tough one as a sales rep. When your company is arguing that you need higher rates or you need to remain higher on your rates, and your company earning report came out and you made billions of dollars, a lot of shippers are going to look at that and be like, all right, it's time, motherfucker. And again, in my experience in the rebid season and everything that happens out here, you guys, there's not going to be a massive drastic drop. There's just going to look to get a little bit back. But rest assured, and I've talked about this frequently, if you've done the right thing, over the past couple of years and you haven't charged astronomical prices and provided extremely shitty service, you're going to be just fine. All right. You're going to be just fine. You're going to work through them with the ebbs and the flows, just like everything else. But if you haven't been that way, if you've been charging astronomical rates and your service has been subpar and your company is releasing massive earnings reports, you're going to have a tough conversation here. So be prepared for that. That's coming. Yeah. Let's first article we're going to break down. Jeff Bush, thanks, brother. I appreciate the support. Jeff Bush is watching over there on YouTube right now. Dedicated Trucking. His episode just came out. Lewis, my friend, he's an owner-op who's overcame some serious shit in his first couple of years in business, but he has not fucking quit. All right. Lewis is out there running a dry van. When we did our interview on the podcast, he was literally fucking getting loaded at that time. And we rolled with it because that's the reality of starting your own company and the reality of this industry, you know? So shout out to him. If he's got a dry van out of Indiana, if you guys got any freight for him direct, hook him up. All right. Hook him up. And Jennifer May, good morning from sunny SoCal. There we go. And it's 10:30. I need to hear some F-bombs on the, yeah, that's right. The freight. You are fucking correct. If you need to hear the F word, come to my morning show every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific. Steven, good morning, sir. All right. First article. It was from my guest yesterday. He wrote this one. Came out yesterday afternoon. Mr. William B. Cassidy from the JOC.com. Hit him up, you guys. I really enjoy the JOC's writing and everything else. Larger U.S. truckload carriers still adding drivers is going on here today. And I know I kind of went on a little rant and I actually mixed up the articles, but that rate rant and everything that was actually for anyways, I fucked up, but here we are. After complaining of a driver shortage for years, large U.S. truckload carriers are hiring more drivers to meet consistent demand for contract freight services. Yeah, there's that tie-in. That's why I wanted to do it, because we're talking about contracted freight. That's helping trucking companies such as Martin Transport, a dry van, and refrigerated carrier to manage capacity more effectively. The unrelenting national shortage of qualified drivers is a long-term double-edged sword for our industry, simultaneously tightening the freight market while limiting fleet sizes. Randy Martin, who is the son of the founder of Martin Transportation, but he is the executive chairman. And Martin Transportation managed to increase revenue 41.8% year over year to $329.6 million in the second quarter, while net profit jumped 47.8% to $31.7 million, the company said. Its operating ratio, which is a measure of profitability, was at 87.6%. And their ability to capitalize on high level of demand led to those performance improvements. And again, kudos. I fucking love seeing people make money. I want everybody who's in the audience watching this right now to make a fuckload of money. Part of that ability came from a 15.4% year-over-year increase in Martin's driving pool. So they added drivers. They added 422 truck drivers since June of 2021. And Martin goes on to say that we continue to build on our success in expanding the capacity we provide as we begin this year's third quarter with 123 more of the industry's top drivers who we employ. Our approach to overcoming the driver shortage is heightened emphasis on structurally improving our drivers' jobs and work-life balance by collaboration with our customers, while also increasing driver compensation, Martin added. That means ensuring shipper customers are invested in job satisfaction of the drivers that serve them while the company pays higher wages. It's, everything sounds right. Everything sounds right on paper when it's coming from it. And I have a soft spot for Martin Transportation. They're a Wisconsin-based company, and your boy here is from the Badger Cheesehead Nation State. But I also worked for Martin Transportation early on in my career, briefly. And it was a great time. Goes on to say hiring gets less impossible. Shippers should expect second quarter gains from other large carriers. As we saw, JB Hunt's earnings report came out as well. Not a bad time for them at all. And then it goes on to say driver recruitment is less impossible than it used to be. This is coming from David Jackson, who's the CEO of Knight Swift Holding, who said at a conference out in San Diego that they're definitely seeing more drivers. For-hire trucking companies have made unexpectedly large payroll gains in 2022, adding a record 62,400 employees from April through June compared to 31,400. So I don't know. It says adding a record 62,000 employees. So I don't know if that's all drivers, but if you're thinking about it, and there's a quote unquote, the number 80,000 is what they like to throw out there a lot. We're fucking almost at capacity then, right? If there's 80,000 driver shortage and say 62,400 just enter the market this year, it sounds like we're doing pretty good. Let me see. With these what these companies are not seeing, though, is more trucks, as many truck manufacturers are still working through order backlogs due to supply chain disruptions and everything else, which is a very real thing. If we could have, we would have gotten our hands on every trailer, truck, and driver last year, but we couldn't. This is what Knight Swift said. The obstacle to adding capacity has likely slowed and cushioned the decline in contract truckload rates, according to DIT Freight and Analytics. Van rates have dropped about 3% since, or contract van rates, have dropped 3% since January, while the average spot rate is down 29%. The largest U.S. truckloads did increase capacity. First quarter, however, the carrier group's count went flat. Let me see here. I'm just paraphrasing here, kind of jumping through. I've got to imagine that some of those large carriers would add to their fleets, but I don't anticipate much more capacity coming in, said Harris Rainbow, who is the chief revenue officer at Transportation Insight Holding, an affiliate of Nolan Transportation Group. I think that, again, it's great. It's great to see more people coming in, that the drivers are sticking around, they're, pay and everything else. There's a lot of different things, but I guess we're not out of the woods yet. And to kind of paint a different picture, I think what you're going to see, though, with a lot of these earning reports coming out is this is what will have effectively triggered rebid season and everything else. And that's going to go in to create a rebalance of sorts in the market. Again, I don't anticipate a fucking complete drop in the market, but this also, rest assured, you guys, if you're out there playing the spot market right now, and that's how you're operating, again, we talk about this frequently. This is why you need to find dedicated freight. All right. Because like 90% of the freight that moves is contracted. Like realistically, 90, I would say rough estimate 85. People throw out there, it's 20%, anywhere from 10 to 20%. DAT puts it at that 10 to 20% that they lean more towards 10%. And DAT has a lot more data than most when it comes down to it. Again, that article specifically was from the JOC, larger U.S. truckload carriers still adding drivers. And, that's a good sign. And then it also leads into another great article about truck tonnage. I don't know if you guys saw this one coming out, but ttnews.com, truck tonnage in June soars 8%. Sorry, 7.9%. Went to public school there, guys. 7.9% year over year truck tonnage increase. And yeah, that is a massive increase. Sequentially, from May to June, the index only increased 2.7% after showing a 0.3% improvement in May. June's jump tells a couple of things, the AA says. First, the transition in the freight market from spot back to contract continues, which again, that's kind of been happening all year. And then the spot market is slowed, and then contract carriers are backfilling those losses with loads from shippers, reducing spot market exposure. Essentially, the market is transitioning back to so the market. Okay, we got to remove that. It's transitioning back to pre-pandemic. It's transitioning back to a normal fucking market is what's happening. This is a normal market shift. Nothing about this is cutting edge or fucking revolutionary. All right, this pattern happens all the fucking time. All right, it's not it's going back to normal is what's happening. Yes, Corey Morris, I do just need to round up. Let me see. Trucking serves as a barometer of the U.S. economy, representing 72.5% of tonnage carried by all modes. According to Costello in May, the index was up 3.5% from a year earlier. So freight is still rising. Now, again, like I reiterate a lot, you guys, I'm not saying that there aren't market shifts. I'm not saying that there aren't certain markets that have dropped in rates. All right. Because I know that that's what's going on out there. But overall, freight volumes are up. Freight volumes are up, and an 7.9%, or Corey Morris gave me the ability to round up, an 8% increase in truck tonnage is a fuckload. All right. That's the only way I can quantify that. That is a lot of freight. So again, I know that there's people out there, owner ops and everything else, who are on the spot market are like, fuck off. Rates are dropping on this. But again, we talk about this strategy frequently. I think that what you see when the spot market falls like it has, what is hit first is the most highly commoditized lane that is out there. All right. So like the power lanes, the ones that a lot of people like to run, and I get it. The Atlanta to Chicago's, that is That's the first one that's going to get hit. That's going to drop down because there's a lot of competition on that lane. But if you go down, draw 50-mile radius around the Atlanta metro and you get random, you get down to Macon, Georgia or something like that. And then you go out down to, like 60 miles outside of Chicago, which there is freight that's going on that those rates are going to hold firm a lot longer than those power lanes. But the problem is when competition drives against it. And again, I'm a fan of the free market. All right. The free market is fucking beautiful. But what happens is this is a normal market shift. All right. Where we're at. If I'm a carrier right now, I'm a small fleet, and we talked about this, just show up at some of your local shippers, get in your car, drive around and show up and introduce yourself and try and get that consistent freight. Try and get that freight that's out there. Because I think a lot of the data that we see, you guys, is data that is reported by large enterprise shippers. Okay. That's what's out there for the most part. Again, I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. I don't know where everybody gets their data from, but I know there's some mom and pop shippers out there who aren't fucking reporting their data on what is a contracted load and what is a spot market load. They're not reporting what their rates are either. This is just a collective that's out there. So essentially back down to the whole, it's just a fucking guess on a lot of this stuff, which it is. And that's why I hate when they try and lump everything in to one category, because it's not one category. There's a lot of stuff out there. I know for a fact there are some spot market loads that are paying $4 a mile right now. I know for a fact. All right. I talked to a lot of fucking people. But I think what we need to look at, though, for all the people that are out there who are being affected by the spot market, we just have to reassess our strategy. All right. We have to reassess our strategy, and we have to not go after the loads that everybody is going to want. Everybody wants first come, first serve. Everybody wants 20,000 pounds. Everybody wants Atlanta to Chicago. All right. We got to change up our strategy. All right. This might be taking a 1-pick 2-drop load now, which not a lot of people want to do. Stuff like that. So again, I think that there is other freight that is out there. It's just the power lanes are going to be the first ones that are affected by it. And they're going to be the last ones to change back when the market inevitably shifts back into your favor. Because again, the beauty of the free market, what goes up must come down. That article was from ttnews.com. Truck tonnage up, which is a phenomenal fucking sign. You guys, it's a phenomenal sign. I'm not saying everything's sunshine and gun drops on every single lane that's out there, because that's not the case. I know that's not the case. And I see that spot market rates have dropped significantly. But again, there's opportunity out there that we just got to find it. Yes, purge, says LinkedIn user. It's such an odd term, the Great Purge, to want to throw that out there. There's also another famous historical figure who's directly associated to a lot of negative shit, who was the Great Purge. If you've never heard of Joseph Stalin and Russia, fucking Google Great Purge and, read about that. That'll open up your eyes a little bit. Fucking just a complete slap in the face, but it's great for downloads. Corey Morris says, nailed it. Everyone got comfortable in the spot market world, but those who plan to come back to reality are winning. Those who came able to stay in the spot market scrambling to find freight volumes are fine. Yeah, man. And that's the thing is a lot of that shift has happened. But again, I think collectively, this is why we got to work on an industry. We got to work with our carrier partners right now, because brokers, hate to fucking be the one to tell you this if you don't realize it, you don't have a business without trucks. All right. You literally have no business without semis. So think about that. Keep your carrier partners in business, and a profitable business too. Let's look at that. Jeremy Reed, he switched back to open deck. Rates are still decent in certain pockets. Yeah, man. I think you're going to see that here. Last article. Again, I'm going to continue to bang this AB5 drum here because, frankly, it's the fucking worst form of legislation for our industry that could possibly happen. And the after effects of this are just going to fucking continue. This one was from ttnews.com, and this was the truckers decry the AB5 labor law at the Oakland port, which is great. Fucking right. These drivers should do this. They should fucking do this. And this is goes on to say that AB5, which could end their independence and their livelihood, which is very fucking true. Truck drivers, independent owner operators who work for themselves, temporarily held up other trucks entering the port to pick up and drop off cargo, and backed up traffic sprawling in the shipping complex. And they vowed to continue protesting. I hope they protest longer than the 20th of July. At the current center of the protest is the 2019 law, AB5, which would require an estimated 70,000 independent owner-operators to register as employees of trucking and other companies. The law has been held up since 2020, and amid the legal wrangling, however, the Supreme Court denied to hear the case, which is what started all of this. And yeah, this goes from driver Carlos Flores. He's been a driver for 20 years based out of Oakland. It's going to put us out of business, and we're fighting for our right to work. Opponents of the legislation, commonly known as the gig work law, says it will upend an industry that has relied on independent contractors. It goes on, the protests coming off after similar events in Southern California ports last week is sending jitters through a shipping industry, which is already stressed by the pandemic. A major problem at the port of Oakland is that shipping containers now languish at the port for nearly 2 weeks once they are due to kinks up and down. You need room for new containers to come off the ship. Let me see here. And it goes on. I'm just paraphrasing here again, you guys. Navdeep Gilm, the owner of the small trucking company, said they are protesting because the loose coalition of independent drivers has struggled to find political voice. Unlike Uber and Lyft, which were able to skirt the law by pumping in over $200 million into successful ballot measures. Uber and Lyft are exempt. Why can't we? Where's fucking OIDA right now? Where's OIDA? That's what I want to know. Why didn't they do more? And if they did do more, I haven't seen it in the news, but that's the thing. Let me see. Matt Schrapp, he's the CEO of Harbor Trucking Association, called the state to give the truckers a path forward in maintaining their independence. Unfortunately, it didn't matter how many independent drivers stood up and expressed their concerns during the legislative process. They were basically ignored and essentially told by the governor and legislator that was best for them and their families. Weird how that, and then it's no wonder why these truckers have to take matters in their own hands. Representative for Gavin Newsom said the truckers are just trying to put off the inevitable. Now that the federal courts rejected the appeal, it's time to move forward and comply with the law and work together to create fairer and more. Oh my God. Here we go. And that was by Dee Dee Myers. Dude, like, this is forced employment, honestly, stripping somebody's right to work. It's fucking communism. All right. There's no other fucking way to put this. You are literally forcing somebody to not have the freedom to choose how they, as the business owner, want to operate. It is a fucking atrocity. And then, of course, you have the governor's office saying, deal with it. Like, they don't give a fuck. And that's the worst part, is this is just another assault on truck drivers who deal with enough bullshit. But the thing is, you guys, this isn't going to fucking stop in California. All right. This is going to literally go to every single, we'll call it what it is, every single state that agrees with this ideology that's out there about doing this. And now, again, I know that there's people out there who fucking take advantage of it, but that's like removing somebody's right. And then it initially started as Uber and Lyft. All right. Those were the ones who initially got the ball rolling on this, and they were able to buy their way out of it. Weird, huh? Weird. Yeah, it's about the worker, aka fucking they padded the pockets to get themselves removed from it. And now the American truck driver is getting fucked over by forced employment. All right? Forced employment. That's what it is. Oh, you own your own business? Yeah, that doesn't matter anymore. You have to go work for somebody else. It's a fucking money grab, at its finest. You're literally forcing, because it's not like these drivers aren't paying taxes on their own. Now it's forcing the company that they were leased onto to pay employment tax on top of that. So the state's getting their fucking hands in the business and the small business's pocket and gutting them. It's just fucking pathetic, And I stand behind what I said. This is fucking communism at its finest. Forced employment. Tell me how that's free. Tell me how forcing somebody to classify their business as not their own independent. All right. That they're now a forced employee of somebody else, because forcing somebody to work for somebody else. And again, I'm not saying that trucking companies are going to do this and this is what it's going to be, but talk about the bad actors that they were trying to protect them from to begin with. What do you think they're going to do to these drivers now if the governor's office is saying fucking deal with it? What do you think these companies who were taking advantage of these drivers before, what do you think they're going to do now that they're forced to work for them? good fucking luck. You just poured gasoline on those individuals. And you're also forcing all the hardworking men and women who just want to fucking provide for their family, you're forcing them to do something that they don't want to do. It's bullshit. I stand behind everything that I fucking say. It's bullshit. And the fact that, where are these people out here who are banging the drums on other things? Why didn't they do more to stop this? That's what I want to know. Why didn't these organizations do more to stop this? Putting out a fucking press release saying we disagree with this isn't fucking good enough. Oh my God. That article, all three articles were good today. I enjoyed reading all three of these articles. ttnews.com, Truckers Decry, AB5. All of these links will be put up on the YouTube channel, as well as the podcast replay, Coffee with the Freight Coach. All of these links to all of these articles. Again, you guys, please do your research on this. Find out, because again, if you're in another, as Jeremy Reed puts it, blue states that will be affected, but politics are playing a huge role in this, man. If you're an owner op and you're in a historical blue state, or you're hearing rumblings in your state about this, get fucking loud right now. Call your local representatives and fucking do something now, because you see what happened in California. The governor's office told them to fuck themselves and deal with it. All right. That's what will come to you if you don't step up now and do something about this. Brokers too. We need to get involved in this too, because this is going to affect us too. All right. This is going to affect us as well. This is an industry problem. This is an absolute assault on small business and an assault on a person's right, a God-given right to have their own business. That is removing that away from them. And when they say independent contractors, you guys, that is not just truck drivers. Think of every other industry out there that is an independent contractor of sorts. That will fuck them eventually too. This is an absolute assault on small business. As I've said numerous times before, this is the worst form of legislation I have ever fucking seen when it comes down to small business in the United States of America. That's it for today. We'll be back tomorrow, though, you guys. As always, we won't stop. The Freight Coach Morning Show is the top morning show in transportation, breaking down 3 industry headlines every single weekday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, 10:30 Central. Yeah. I appreciate everybody in the comments. We'll be back tomorrow. We're not fucking stopping, you guys. We're not fucking stopping. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll be talking to you soon.